Happy Monday and welcome to your mindful start to the week with Anetta and I, where we show up as we are because we're inviting you to show up as you are in whatever way that may be today. For us, it is resting because Anetta and I just did our first online live summit and it was so good. Like I couldn't have even expected it to go as good as that. And we basically were on Saturday and Sunday. Hi Emily. She is one of our angels that turned up, and yeah, we just had such a reflective weekend. I personally hadn't expected how much it would hit home for me on a personal level because I was the host, so I was like more thinking of the background and setting everything up with Anetta. But then the speakers that we were able to get on, I mean, it we really were able to cover a very well-rounded healing toolkit, um, which basically, from the mind, the body, the gut, and the heart, it was just a lot of holistic healing approaches to truly being yourself and also accepting all these versions of yourself. I feel like that was something that came up a lot during the weekend, embodying who you are by embracing every part of yourself, but also leaving past versions of yourself behind. And that's something I've also truly been working on personally for a while. So I didn't realize that this summit would also hit me on a personal level. I don't know about you, Anetta, but we're just here today to gather again, but not for such a long time, but just to kind of like give you a bit of yeah, a bit of a feel for like how you do feel after these deep dive summits and how everyone should treat themselves to these weekends because it's just pure time where you nourish yourself from the inside out. And I don't think I've ever actually given myself that much time over the weekend to just dedicate to learning and reflecting. You do the odd journaling and yoga and all of this, like that's a daily part of my routine. But to sit there for like, what was it? 5 hours on Saturday and Sunday. We basically spent the whole weekend together just like diving deep into presence and not performance, like Matt said, or, just taking care and becoming more aware. So, Anetta, in reflection today, like, what's a rise for you? Like, what are you feeling as big lessons or, like, yeah, anything that you want to share from our summit?
One of the biggest takeaways was that we were able to just take our masks off and to just be who
Yeah.
we are and to be raw, real, and authentic. We all have so many different masks that we're putting on, and we're always performing. You're at a job, you have your career mask on, you're performing to be good in your career. You are in a relationship, what you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, or a spouse. You have a mask on, and you're performing to be a certain type of person for that certain area of your life. You have a hobby that you like to do. You like to go to the gym, that's another mask and another way of you performing. So the fact that we were able to just leave all of that at the door and just bring it into the weekend and say, this is who I am and I'm here and ready to learn. Like, I think that was like the most fulfilling part is no masks. We don't have to perform. I think a lot of times, like, when we're growing up, for example, if you don't get the attention that you know you need, you're constantly overperforming. I'll talk from my perspective. My parents didn't communicate a lot on what I wanted to hear or what I needed to hear when I was a kid. So I was always overperforming and always people pleasing my parents. And I would always try to get them to say, congratulations or good job, I'm proud of you. And I never really got that from them. So I was always overperforming until I would run myself dry. So the fact that and then when we grow up, we start thinking, "What's wrong with me? Why did I do this? Why doesn't this person love me? Why is so and so not being nice to me?" But the reality is there's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. It's you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
haven't found the people who can give you what you need at the right time. So it was just so beautiful that we were able to be there for each other and to really let the guards down.
Yeah, we were able to really offer a safe space. And everyone noticed that, everyone felt that, who was part of our summit, as a participant as well as a speaker. And I think, as you say, like, it's such a good thing that you just said, like, none of us are broken. And you just
Mhm.
have to always remember that you're not broken, you're breaking through. And when you break through these layers of what used to be you or used to be versions of how other people saw you, that's good. It's good. You're breaking through to your true power, to your another essence of yourself. There's so many layers to ourselves. And Emily, one of our participants and loves from our summit, she said it's so crazy how even when we listen to someone speak, we feel it internally. The summit offered so much reflection, still so much to digest. Girl, I feel you. I came like into this summit more like with the hat of a host and thinking, okay, in the breaks, I want to do some meditation and tapping and qigong and yoga and bring all of my holistic healing methods through. But I didn't think about what it would do for me too. And it's so
Mhm.
true, Emily. Like, even just listening to everyone's stories, we had 7 speakers, right, Anetta?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 7 speakers. Matt from Substack was our only guy, but we had 3 nurse practitioners, and they really like told their stories with such strength that you could really tell that they'd suffered like the burnout and the, I mean, just people telling their stories, I think is such a gift.
It
And
really is.
yeah, I think like I encourage everyone to tell their story because when you tell your story, you're able to just like identify yourself with that person in some way or form, and it invites more self-compassion. It invites like all of these feelings in, and like Emily just said, it's so true. All of our speakers told their stories of breaking through to empower us in some way or form, and each one in an individual and unique level, from the gut, the heart, the mind, the body, even the spirit. And I think that was like something that I truly like didn't expect to take away, like how each person's story would just like really muster something up within me, like emotions that I had forgotten about maybe.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I interviewed a couple of them on my podcast as well in the past, and
Yeah.
I interviewed Ashley on my podcast, and she uncovered a lot on the show. But over the weekend, she took it to a whole deeper level that there were so many parts of her story that I didn't even know until we listened to her speak at the summit. So, like, that was really empowering and encouraging as well. Like, sharing our stories is so important because you never know who you're helping. Like, for example, like, I mean, believe it or not, like there were some things that I was able to relate with Ashley on her story of like not everything, but I was like, wow, like she went through that. Then that makes me feel like maybe I wasn't the problem. Maybe I was just
Yeah.
facing those challenges to grow through them and to figure out who I'm supposed to be and to help me bring me to my closer to my purpose. Because a lot of times we find our purpose through our challenges. Like your challenges are actually exposing to you what you should be doing, who you should be helping, and that's how you find clarity in what you do.
Yeah, I think that's truly essential what you just said, that you saw a part of yourself in Ashley's story, because that really is it. I mean, we're on Substack now, so we're writers. And when you tell your story, someone will see themselves in some part or form or layer of your feelings or emotions or experiences in you. And that's why we share our stories, because it's always like a permission slip to the person reading it or feeling it or hearing you. Oh, I'm not alone. And like Annetta just said, oh, it wasn't me that was the problem, or oh, I was worthy all along. Like, oh, I actually just needed to be safe in my body to feel good about myself. Like all of these
Yeah.
little shifts, but big shifts that are like, oh my gosh, all along I wasn't the problem. And we aren't the problem. We never are the problem. It's all the conditioning of society or of childhood that has made us feel like we're the problem, but we're not. And that's why in our summit, which will soon be available to you as a replay, it's like a very well rounded toolbox of holistic healing methods so that you can check in with your gut. Are you eating the right things? Because maybe your chronic pain is actually coming from the fact that you don't love your body. Or are you suffering from heartache in all of its forms, be that heartbreak in a relationship, or like Cheryl was saying to us, heartache can also come from a career change or from a child leaving home or in whatever form that may be. And she was telling us about how you can really transcend through your heartache in creativity, which I have always also done. Transmuting my pain into wisdom has just always been like this gift, I would say, as a creator. And you all have these gifts. And this summit was just so truly inspiring to see how each person, like Annetta just said, was able to change their challenges into purpose. And I think that is just like what everyone really essentially can be doing if they're not already. That's like the missing link, wouldn't you say as well? Like the missing link to like why people are struggling these days, because they have a lack of purpose and meaning.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of times we walk around with our challenges and our struggles and we say, why me? Why me? When is this going to change? Why am I going through this? Why is this person being mean? But if you really take those things that don't make sense and you start to ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? What did
Yeah,
I ask for that this struggle is trying to teach me? Don't be when you ask for flowers, don't be surprised when you get rain because the flowers are not going to come just off pure sunshine. They're going to come through rain and through challenges and through struggles, and that's exactly what you need. So it's like instead of saying, why me, stop and pause and say, what is this trying to teach me? What did I ask for? Did I ask for more patience? Did I ask for to a promotion at my job? Of course, you're going to get tested with pressure and with obstacles to see if you're serious about what you want. So I think that's so important. Reframing your mind from why me to what is this trying to teach me?
totally. I mean, you can't get caught in this victim role, because we all have people in our lives that we know are the victims, right? They're those
Mhm.
people that are in your life, be it family, friends, or acquaintances, that complain constantly, say what Annetta just said, why me? Oh, there's always something happening. If you live in that state of limit, as I call it, then you're never going to be able to like truly enjoy life for all its beauty within you and around you. And if you just start to do little shifts, and that is, like Annetta said, like shifts mean asking life, what are you showing me if you believe in God? What are you trying to tell me right now, God? Last week, I had like so many moments where I was like, thanks God for putting me into this. Like, seriously. I was in my exam this time last week, a 4-hour exam, and I came on my period and it was horrible. Like the timing was obviously just shit. And I was in pain, and of course, I just couldn't concentrate. Like I was really doing my best to stay focused. And after that, I was like, okay, maybe this really is just a sign from God and life that I am strong and I get through everything, no matter what comes up. And I think just that like rewiring and shift to noticing where your strengths can lie, um, you're able to muster it up better. Because if you're already in this like victim mode of, oh, like this is happening and I can't do this and I can't do that, then it's super draining and it's just easier to stay there. But you can put effort and energy, small steps at a time, like one day at a time, doing these little things for yourself, proving yourself that you are worthy. Like that was a massive thing in our summit this weekend. We are born worthy. So you already deserve everything and all the love. Don't ever let society or your past make you think different. And if it has, then work on it and rewire your mind. Say, no, I have no use for this thought whatsoever. Shift it to the side and be like, I am worthy. I can do this. And yeah, that was just like a really lovely thing in our summit, too, that each speaker was able to come through and share their light in a different manner, because we all have our lights, and it's just tapping into like what your light brings to the table, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And something I want to add to that is, the first time I heard someone tell me this, I was like, whoa, like this doesn't make sense. But then I started to really ponder on it, and the phrase goes, I love problems and problems love me because it gives me the opportunity to learn, grow, and create a solution that didn't exist before. And when you create a solution that didn't exist before, you're growing your mind and you're creating space to help and serve others. So, like, that's something that I also had to rewire my mindset on, is because when I was younger, I would completely avoid any interest of conflict. Anything that was like conflicting, I would always try to avoid it. But it's like, instead of avoiding it, why don't you lean into it? If you spill milk on the floor, that's a problem. But the problem loves you because it teaches you patience and it teaches you how to clean it up. Maybe you don't have the right cleaning tools, but it gives you the opportunity to figure it out in a different way. And now you have another solution for if you don't have the proper cleaning tools. So, like, something that, like, I was really reframing, it's like, we're always going to have conflict to some extent or to some level. So instead of running away from it, learn to embrace it. Like, for example, if a chair breaks, great. How can I fix this? What can I do? Because we live in such a technical world with our phones and our iPads. Like, AI. It will literally do the work for you, but if you have a problem, be grateful for it because it gives you the opportunity to use your brain and use your strength to find a solution. And you just never know, that solution might help thousands and millions of people around the world.
Yeah. I think it's funny how you say like be grateful for problems, because so many people I can imagine would just be like rolling their eyes at like that. Like, how can you be
Mhm.
grateful for your problems, you know? I think it's also just knowing that you have a source of strength within you to tackle any problems. That's the first step. To already know that within you, you have all you need. But people like me, for example, can guide you towards that inner healing and that inner guide. Because, I mean, that's why there's so many coaches and mentors, because sometimes we do just need a little push from the outside to remind you. It's not about telling you, but it's reminding you that you are home. You are already home within. and you already have the strength within to resolve the problems, like Aneta is saying. So don't just turn to other people or to AI, whatnot these days. We don't want to get lazy. We want to get creative and curious. I mean, curiosity is one of, if not the best tool in life to stay actively happy and joyful. Because, I mean, for me, I can only speak. Being curious is like the nicest thing ever. It also invites people to think that, oh, this person cares for me. But I just love to know about people. I love to know about cultures. That's why I've traveled and lived in different places. Curiosity can also just twist and like shift you from this victim role and just already put you into a role of, ah, a light switch has gone on.
Yeah.
So Aneta and I are going to rest today. I don't know about you, Aneta, but I felt tired today. Like, genuinely, my body was like, I don't want to get out of bed in a good way, like, not a depressed way, but it was like, wow, what a reflective and fulfilling weekend. And we know that you deserve this too. Like, so many people in life are living on standby. And I think sometimes days are like, oh, wait, like your light within you is like, you deserve more, or there's something more for you. And there is. And in our summit, you really do learn like how to heal yourself holistically from within. It's not about what you do on the outside, how you look on the outside. It's about the time you spend nourishing yourself and being there for yourself. And so today for me, it was like, I allow myself to take it slow. And here is your permission slip if you also need it to take it slower today. Because Monday is always one of those days where it's like, oh my gosh, start of the week, I've got this to do, I've got that to do, I need to do this, that, and you get straight into this kind of like, you know, opposite of nervous system regulation and straight into the stress. And today I was like, no, like I'm not going back into life yet completely because I need to reflect on all of our learnings from the weekend, and that's okay, you know?
Absolutely. Thank you guys for joining us for another Mindful Monday. And we will be releasing a replay of our summits starting next week. So if you're interested in getting this replay, let us know because we are starting a wait list today and it will only be available for 48 hours once the replay is released. So either send us a message or respond to any of our posts that you're interested, and we'll get you more information about that.
Yeah, so you can live a life of expansion and not constriction. So happy to be here with you. Thank you, Emily, for always being there, supporting us and growing with us as well. We just love growing together. It's the best.
Big hugs, big love.
Yeah,
Have a
have a
wonderful
great week.
Monday.
Bye.
Bye.